All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, open, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, having yourself a volatile day?
No, having myself some computer things here. Had to do the old reboot at 328. How you doing, Spencer?
I'm doing better than probably a lot of people out there today.
Why?
Well, there's some volatility. You can look at some of those high flyer names from yesterday and not doing too well. Overall market is fine, doing fine.
Yeah. You trading a lot of those meme stocks, Spencer?
No,
Is how you getting in trouble?
I'm not, which is why I'm having an okay day. I'm having an okay day. Yeah, I'd be curious in chat how your day's going. Frank's already asking, do you buy the dip in clove? Who the hell knows, man?
Clove?
Who even knows anymore? It's down 21% today. Why?
So what's that mean? Give me some price. I'm bringing up
$17. It was at
$17.
Opened at 28, right? Opened at 20. Wait, what did it open at? Opened at 28. Like 17.
What's the high? Because I'm pulling up my charts. What's the high?
That is the high.
28 even?
No, 28.85.
Oh, so I did get to that pre-market high a little bit, 28.34. You know what? When I went to trading school, the day that they taught how to sell the rip.
Oh, you were sick.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
But when the day that I should have been there and buy the dip, I don't know. I was absent, so I couldn't tell you to buy the dip. It's just so much easier to sell the rips. Still waiting for my trade station here with all my technical analysis and all my algorithms running here. I don't know. I was gone for a few and came back. So if you want to just talk some news, we can. Yeah. I should be up momentarily here.
Okay, I can give you some overall headlines here. Can you turn your fan off if you can?
Okay.
If you're following the Lordstown motor story, I guess there is a report from Reuters that they have enough capital, Lordstown does, to meet their obligations and
by when
continue operations. And there is rumors of funding from. Let me see here. There's rumors of funding from the DOE, Department of Energy. Anyway, the stock has rallied, ripped from 8 to 11 today.
Yeah, so, I mean, I thought you were going to say there was funding coming from Reddit.
Well, maybe. Who can say?
So it went down to 8, huh? What was the low? Because I know there was
888.
Okay. Ooh, the old take out 9, but not go to 875. You guys were talking about a rebound in that. You and Dennis were kind of leaning toward the long side.
No, don't put me in that camp.
Yeah, you and Dennis. You guys, all you guys do is buy. Man, when a company comes out and says they don't know how long they could be an ongoing concern, that's concerning. Yeah. In their truck. Okay, so it went down to 880. I don't know. Just praying that Marcus is out. That's my position in ride. Yeah,
right. It's emotional. Hey, I don't know if you have your charts up, but what about like the IBB? You were poo-pooing.
No, I just hadn't looked at the chart. I was totally wrong. Yep.
All right. Yep. Fine.
Yeah.
Healthcare is having itself a day today. So.
Yeah. I'm still, man, I gotta have to call my computer guy. This should not take this long to boot up here. But I was wrong. That was right. That was right at the high. So I think that kind of falls into your small, a lot of these biotech companies. I mean, they're speculative too, right? So small cap, speculative, biotech. I don't know if the Reddit traders are getting down and dirty in it, but I saw Biogen rebounded. That's going to be a tough one to trade here until you're probably going to get some consolidation and then a move out of this area. But Yeah, I mean, money moving in. There's been always rotation. What's Lilly doing today? Is that up too?
I mean, most of healthcare is up. Let's see, Lily. Let's see what that's doing. Yeah.
You can share your. I mean, with
Yeah.
this.
Well, I was going to share my screen. I was going to bring up UPS actually because
Oh man.
Andrew Garber brought this up. My apologies, everyone. I feel like everyone like gets tired when I say like, "Oh, Investor Day today."
No, you were right.
So I stopped saying it, but I really shouldn't have done that. I should have warned you of there's a lot of investor presentations this week. The UPS is one of like 30, it seems like, or more. But they had their investor day today. They gave some numbers. They said they're eyeing same day delivery service. Stock is down. I don't know what specific headline is the reason for the drop. But there's always a lot of headlines to come out of their investor day. So they gave some targets for 2023. And again, said they're eyeing the same day delivery service.
You know what? I mean, this thing had just been. I'll be able to bring my charts up here in 1 second.
Yep.
There's only one reason that this thing is down is because I was holding 210 puts for like a month and was waiting there for the bring up UPS here in a second. It just had been holding 210, 210, 210, 210, 210. Finally, I don't know what I had. I must have had maize or something, waiting there for it to break 210, and it never did. And then today, gaps lower, and there you go. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'd want to sell it into the hole here, but man, if this thing got anywhere near 210, I mean, I think the move is over here for UPS. Green candle here. I can share my screen now
There we go.
as I make the necessary adjustments. Uh, what's and I'll check on FedEx here in a second. Let me go to my share screen, all this fancy technology that we have here. You had to gap up after earnings, and it was just a gap and go. And now you're losing 210. So I don't know if I want to short it in the hole, but I certainly love to see it come back to that 210 area. As far as I'm concerned, this thing could come down to 190, then fill the gap at 180. FedEx probably following suit here. Yep, that's having a bad day as well. So you got to think about these stocks from the perspective of the pandemic, right? And even though I see these trucks in the neighborhood all the time, I think people are going to be getting out more and doing things. So I think it's been a big turn. It's been a big run. Don't fret if you didn't sell in the 300 handle for FedEx or, in the 200 handle for UPS. I mean, these stocks usually don't move this much. I mean, on the historical, average, I'm sure that these are way overdone still, even on the upside. So looking to hope to get a rip to sell, I wouldn't be buying the dip in either of these stocks.
And everyone in chat, it's not my birthday. I don't know why Jason, I assume it's Jason always says, or it's probably Luke actually. It's probably Luke. Luke probably is saying it's my birthday. It's not my birthday. I'll take your happy birthdays, but it's not my birthday. My birthday just passed a month ago. So thank you everyone for the birthday wishes, but it is not my birthday. Although every day should be my birthday.
Why would they do that? That's like something that you do in like elementary school or something.
Joel, who do we work with? Come on. Come on, think about it. Wait, what about
Romper Room?
What was I about to? No, I was about to mention a stock just now, and then the birthday thing got me all distracted. Oh, thank GameStop, Jesus. So GameStop reports tonight. Earnings are usually out at 4:05. So says Randy Elias from our news desk, and the conference call is at 5. Remember last time we streamed the conference call, they didn't take any questions. It was the shortest conference call I'd ever heard in my life. Maybe they'll take questions this time. I know there was the headline this morning that Ryan Cohen is officially chairman of the board. Bada bing, bada boom. GameStop is up today, which that trend is flying in the face of the other ones because AMC is down and BlackBerry and Bed Bath and all these and Clover, they're all down, but GameStop is not. So that's a check. Put that one in the win column for
Yeah,
GameStop.
I'd go wide on this one. I'll say this 350. I think you got up there a few times. I'd say 350, and then on the down, I'll go 250 to 350. I don't know what the straddles are going for, but I would sell it. Sell in the straddle. If anything, if it's like 30, I just think you're gonna have people. I think on a big pop, you're gonna have anybody that's been long on this thing wandering the register. And I think that if you get a big drop, I think anyone that's been, the evil shorts out there or anybody that's shorting it off the print is going to want to cover. So I'll go wide. I'm a buyer at 250, seller at 350. I think everything in between is hogwash.
Hogwash. I do like that word. Hogwash doesn't get used enough. Here's a good question from Andy Y. We haven't talked infrastructure for like a month. Remember, we talked about infrastructure every day for a couple weeks, and then we don't talk about it anymore. But he's talking about Cleveland Cliffs. Why is Cleveland Cliffs so hot? It's a great question. Is there anything?
Reddit.
Is there anything specific? I don't know if there's. I mean, there's overall inflation, rise in the price of iron ore. I don't think it's just CLF, right?
No.
Today, but I mean, U.S. steel is up. Steel dynamics is not. But anyway, I don't know if it's Cleveland Cliffs specifically or anything to do with them. But regardless, the stock is up big today.
If something happens to me and I drop that or something, could you write an algorithm for this chart formation here?
Yeah.
Where a stock has a strong day, okay, it opens higher, but it doesn't fill the gap. Okay. Like a guy like me, 2039, 2035. Yeah, I'm gonna get this at the top of the prior day's range, but you don't get it, and then it just rips. I mean, how many times, it also was a little bit of a resistance area. I mean, looking for a gap fill, you didn't get it, ripped. I mean, little word of caution, 23.99, that's the high. You're a buck off that. Let me go to the monthlies here and see. I mean, I'm not thinking it's going to $100, but I don't want to be short this thing. I mean, you've had, get at your highest level since 2014. I'd say your next target on the upside. Ooh, what's the high today? What's the high today? If it's anywhere near got to 23.99, 23.48 was a monthly high. So, got to get back up. Maybe a big seller stacked up at 24 after this big move may take some time to work its way through 24.
I know we talked Tilray today, and it was moving on some heavy volume. Obviously, it's cooled off a bit since the volume and the price have cooled off a bit since the open. But it got to $23.
Is there anything there? Anything at 23? No.
There's nothing anywhere, Joel. This thing is got moves all over the place. I mean,
April 5th high, 22.85. So if you were using that, folks, when things get extended like this, these kind of moves, you're always good. Go to your dailies. Find a level. If someone was willing to sell at 22.85 at April 5th, and they watch this thing go to $14, you think they're willing to sell at 22.85 again? I like the dailies. I know you guys. When I'm not on the show, you guys bring up 1 minute charts and 30 tick charts. Yeah, you are always on the 1 minute chart, Spencer.
No, I am not. I'm never on the 1 minute.
You are, Spencer. Admit it. You look at 30-second charts.
I've never in my life, I think, looked at a 30-second chart.
I do use a 30-second chart. I'm not going to tell you when, but I do use it once a day.
I pull
once a day.
I pull up a minute chart on average, like on my own, like once a day, and I look at I do 100 searches a day, and so one of those charts is like a 1 minute chart.
Kaylee Coons, you didn't know a 30-second chart existed?
Kaylee, wait till you learn about tick charts.
Oh, yeah. All right. You ready? All right. There's a 15-second chart. Let's go to a tick chart here. Oh, now, is that the most? I wish I had better colors here. That's a tick chart in Tilray. Is that the most meaningless information you think you've ever seen in your entire life? I wish I could make this line. a little bit darker. But yeah, 21.24 to 26. That's a huge move. Oh, just went to 27. Man, this thing's rallying. That's what a 1 minute tick chart looks, or one tick chart.
One picture.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get that off there.
Yeah.
That I don't think I've ever had a one tick chart on my trade station ever before. Spoos just hit a low 1850. Man, someone was asking. Let me go to my levels here. I almost put the sheet away from the day. Nah, nothing in here. We are not going to get to yesterday's low, folks. 0575. I won't say never, but I don't know. I don't even have nothing. I have nothing in here. Nothing at all to lean on. So we'll see. 18 and a half could be the low of the day.
You know, we didn't talk about this morning. It was on the list. We didn't get to it. Was Campbell soup.
What do we talk about in the morning, Spencer?
Sometimes I don't even remember, honestly.
Can you take control of the show tomorrow and just make it halfway decent?
Yeah, you know, we can do that now. I assume Dennis called you.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is a teaser that the afternoon listeners get. Dennis has some appointment to do with his new house tomorrow, and then Friday he said it's his birthday. So Dennis is going to be out for the next
it is. I forgot.
Yeah,
oh, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
He's so sneaky. I've talked to him 3 times today and yesterday, and he never told me it was his birthday.
So he'll be out in the next 2 days.
Oh, we don't even get to roast. You know what?
Don't even get to roast him.
I think our listening audience is probably very excited to get a little break from him. Everybody could use a little break from Dennis. So,
well, no, he did say he can maybe call in because he won't be home, but he said he can maybe call in. I think he said on Friday, maybe. So maybe that'll happen. But I
tell the guy, he's all stressed out from all the nasty people in the chat.
Yeah, and also
he's stressed out. He gets. I mean, people say more mean things to him in Twitter in a night than I think people have said to me in the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, no, we're not calling him. We're giving him a break.
No. He said he wanted to call in. I was going to call in.
Oh, gosh.
Wait. Look at this comment from Dave. Dave got it in chat. Says, you guys were so on track when I first started listening last summer. Now you meander all over during the mornings. When were we ever on track? I don't remember.
I'm telling you. No, because you know why? Because we didn't have all this bullshit to deal with in the market.
We're in a pandemic.
We had a very important market. We had a pandemic. We had so
important a year ago when a Hertz was going to $6. I remember that. It was very important times.
We were looking for a cure. We were looking for a vaccine. I mean, there was a lot going on, and now it's AMC, GameStop, Clover, whatever. We actually talked about real stocks.
All right, can I bring it back to Campbell Soup then?
Okay.
They had earnings this morning. Again, we didn't get to it. I wish I had though. I wish we had though in hindsight, because this was a big report in terms of the implications. So their EPS came in. I don't know how many times I've said this earnings season, not many, but their EPS missed on the estimate. They came in 57 cents per share versus a 66-cent estimate. Sales also missed 1.98 versus $2 billion. They gave some EPS. They actually lowered their EPS guidance for the year, and they expect their net sales for the year to decrease 3 to 3.5%.
Doesn't this make sense though?
Right. And then they also announced a $250 million buyback. It does make sense when you think about year over year, because we were all stocking up on canned goods at this time last year. But yeah, I mean, the market did not see this coming, because it's down 6% today.
Right. But it's going to be a green candle. The only thing I'll just point out this one, I don't know how many Campbell Soup traders we have or whatnot, but right here where my cursor is, that's a pre-market low of 44.63. And you kiss that in the rate. Like on this one, and opening that far down, I wouldn't have been looking to short it. I just would have been looking to buy it. Keying on the pre-market low, you wouldn't have got done. This is the first bracket here of the regular session, 44. Ooh, got pretty close, 44.74. So there's a way to use your pre-market lows and highs as, significant levels. If you were a fader of the down move here, I think the only thing, when I did my big Costco runs back in last February and stuff, I think the only thing I have left is rice. And those like huge, like 20, 30-pound bags?
Mm-hmm.
I bought 2 of those. And Lisa, she flipped out. She's like, what the hell? We are never going to eat that much rice.
Well,
And
you showed her.
no, we still have. We went through one bag, and we started the second bag, but it ain't gonna be done for. I just figured, if we just need food, we could just eat rice, and it would be good sustenance. But I overshot on the rice. I bought maybe 2 cases of those little Campbell soup things, the double noodle, no chicken,
Yeah.
and we ate those. But the only thing I have left is the rice. So if anyone wants rice, come by, Spencer.
Well, back to the Campbell soup thing, because I guess it does make sense, but I don't know what you see on the chart. I mean, there are some lows. Actually, was that their last earnings? No.
Oh yeah, look at this. Look at
it was earnings in September. No, earnings in March. Both of them.
Let's blow this up, because Spencer, you should get technical. Look at this, folks. Look at these monthly lows. The people that were looking at their monthly chart are the ones that made some money today. Monthly low, April 2020, 44.75. And then you go here, 45.53. Here, 45, right on the kisser, 44.85. Here, 44.90. Here, 44.74. So, hey, and then now you're going to drift back down. You're going to find buyers ahead of 45. So that's probably the most time anyone's ever spent on Campbell's soup on any network here. So, and you can't get excited about the upside until you get above 47.
What about Telehealth?
It will fill the gap someday. Someday, this is not investment advice, but someday it will fill that gap up to 49.
Okay. What about Teledoc here? I just saw a headline on the Benzinga Pro that shares were falling. Amazon announced they're going to announce which companies have signed on to use the Amazon Telehealth service later this year. We know this is happening. Amazon announced that they were getting into telehealth last year. So Teledoc just sold off on that headline a couple bucks. But we haven't talked about this stuff.
What happened to the Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, Amazon healthcare system?
That got the kibosh.
That did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Duncan Dave says GME is tanking. Yeah. Who wants to go long into that report? I mean, look at that. Whoo! You're right, Duncan Dave. That's a 15-minute chart. They're saying, yeah, maybe this stock is really worth $50. So I don't know. Boy, Street bought it up in, and now they're sellers making new lows of the day. If you want a low ball bid out there, I'd throw it at 282 if you're looking to cover something in the close. I don't know if that's going to happen, though, in the next 5 minutes.
Wait, actually, can I amend my previous statement? The only times when I do go to a 1 minute chart are when Joel freaks out and I don't see it because I'm on like a daily. And I'm like, all right, let's go to the 1 minute. And then it's never like a big deal. But I do go to the 1 minute every time Joel says, oh God, market's tanking. And then I go to the 1 minute and like the SPY just to see if it's right. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, and like the job numbers and things like that, we do too. We do it. SPOOs down 450, 18 a quarter. Absolutely nothing there. No reference point. I can't say I had a level, or else I'd be lying. I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak this up and just make this unchanged on the day, just to make everyone to pull their hair out. 17-point range. This has to be one of the tightest ranges in the SPOOs. My expected average daily range was 38 points. We're at 17, folks. So volatility coming down, bunching up near the highs of the move.
I'm not sure I follow the question here, Easy Mike. What are the effects if Kathy goes berserk? I assume he's referring to Teledoc. I don't know. I don't know if I follow you, Easy Mike, on that. I don't know. Not quite sure I follow
I
that.
mean, I think he means start selling.
Ah, yeah. Isn't this one of the ones where they own like a not insignificant portion of the float? I think it probably is. They do own a lot of Telehealth.
You know,
I don't know.
I'll just tell you right now, there's competition coming down the pipeline.
Well, yeah, Amazon.
Well, not only Amazon, but Lisa got a notice from a company called Doximity. Same thing, recruiting doctors. They're going to let us in at the IPO price, so I'm going to ask them if I can short it at the IPO price. But
wait, are they actually going public? Or are you joking?
they are. They are.
Wow.
Yeah, Doximity. Look it up. Yeah.
All right.
I did a little.
Wait. Time out. Is it a SPAC? No, it's an IPO. You said. Is it direct listing or just normal IPO?
I don't know. All I did was,
how can I short this?
I don't know. I don't know. Competition coming down the line for Teledoc here. Great stock during the past. Actually made a new high in 21 while we were still kind of freaking out about things in February. But boy, this is a tough stock. Where's the Zoomer at? Zoom.
I don't know.
A little bit of a rebound. Was that an earnings low day? What day did did Zoom have earnings?
I'll tell you right now. Go on my handy dandy Benzinga Pro earnings calendar. Zoom reported on June 1st.
Oh, okay. So it's off the low. I mean, is it too early to bring in a 50% retracement? I think so. You are clearing let's see here. 345. Hey, you did clear a 2-month high in here, folks. So but you're right back down 330, 345. I think people just trade in the range in this thing and trying not to really like go for home runs. They're just trying to do little swing trades, 10, 50, 20 points.
All right, we are heading into the close. Under a minute to go now. How are we looking, Joel?
I don't know if we're going to get to unchanged on the day. I was kind of looking at, we're just traded down 5 points, 17-point range, one of the tightest ranges we've had in a long time. Man, I mean, I could just show you. I mean, this is resistance. I mean, I'll show it for the SPY here. I mean, look, bunching up near the top, all these highs. Same thing for the S&Ps. Instead of looking for a breakout today of the upside, which I did early, actually I bought the high of the day. Got out very quickly, but I really thought we were breaking out. Resistance is resistance until it's taken out. Oh, those sellers into the close here. So, man, you got major resistance up there, selling off a little bit into the close. Quiet, rollover, choppy action. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
All right, 5th day in a row that AMC had a smaller daily range than the day before. So It's coiling. It's getting tighter. Which way does it go after that? Who knows? Anyway. All right, Joel, always a pleasure, sir. Get that computer checked out. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Sorry I was late coming on with the computer issues. I'll get them resolved tomorrow.
Okay, he probably won't, but that's quite all right. All right, guys, go ahead and give us a like if you can. We appreciate that. Smash a like, drop a like, tap the like, whatever you want to, whatever verb you choose. What we were going to do originally at this time slot is I was going to do a new show. We're going to try once a week with our man Mike Rao, who's like one of our Benzinga Pro gurus, and this guy like does these demos that are awesome. And he was going to just walk through Benzinga Pro and do it in real time using news and all that sort of thing. But then, so that was the plan for 4:00 today. Then we remembered that GameStop was reporting, and we thought, well, let's just table that. Mike Rowell ain't going anywhere. Benzinga Pro ain't going anywhere. We'll table that and let's just stay on if we can. And just talk GameStop. That's what we did last quarter, and we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to bring up my Benzinga Pro. Here we go. There's GameStop. So I'm just going to hang out with you guys, and basically we're going to wait for this GameStop report together. So here's a 1 day. Here's a 1 day chart. I'm going to zoom way in just so we can get a good look. All right, so what's the close? 302 is the close in GameStop. Is that right? Now we wait, everyone. Now we wait for this report. The report's going to be a moot topic. Maybe, Dave, maybe not. Chris at SD, what time is GameStop supposed to report? Well, they usually report at 4:05. How do I know this? Let me show you how I know this. I'm going to search for GameStop in our newsfeed here. I'm going to go to categories. I'm going to go to news. I'm going to just click on earnings. Every headline with GameStop that is tagged earnings, and I don't have to scroll back very far to get to the last quarter. Actually, wait, where was I? Yeah, let's scroll. Here we go. March. All right, so last quarter they were at 425, right? Let's keep going. Quarter before that, December, looks like they were at 406, 407. Okay. Quarter before that, same time, 40, 406, 407. Quarter before that, God, for they're at looks like 406. You can see just the sheer quantity of headlines about GameStop in the last like 6 months, right? Oh man. Anyway, so historically 405 area. Last quarter they were a little bit late. Let's hop over to a press release news feed, press release and SEC filing feed, and let's just search for GameStop there. I don't see the report yet. It's a little bit early, so we'll just hang out. We'll watch the stock. We'll watch the chart. We'll do what these newfangled streamers do, right? Where they just kind of hang out for like 8 hours and talk about one stock the entire time. I could try that, right? Maybe. I don't know. Pull on my 30-second chart. How low do these charts go? Actually, I don't even really know. It looks like they just go down in pro. They go down to 1 minute. So, and that's where I'm at right now. So, let's not mess with that. Do market makers have a certain day they have to buy shares that are out of money, or I don't understand this question. There's a certain day to buy shares that are out of money. Just have. I don't. Are you referring to like if they have hedges on for options positions, Jason? Is that what you're asking? GameStop? Oh crap, Randy, don't do this to me. Management. Hold on, Randy's yelling in my face about GameStop management. Hold on. Hold on 1 second here. Let me get my stuff in order. So they named a new CEO, but that's not even new news. That was out, right? Wasn't that out? Oh man, but it's moving on it. It's moving on it. All right. So the names were new. So okay, all right, okay, that's right. So the news this morning was that Ryan Cohen is like confirmed, right, as the chairman, executive chairman, and the new news that was just out. You can see the headline right there, Benzinga Pro. This is who Ryan Cohen has and others have named, right, as for the C-suite. So Matt Furlong, new CEO, Mike Recupero, CFO. All right, see, this is not like historically, this is not the kind of headline that would really move a stock that much. Stocks go down if their CEO leaves, and their CEO is like a big part of the company, right? Like for companies where like CEO is like ingrained, people think about like Jeff Bezos and Amazon is a great example, right? Bezos left when that headline hit that he was leaving, Amazon went down, right? But for most companies, the CEO is just a CEO. He's not, he or she is not a an embodiment of the company. And most people don't know their names. So for most of the time, it won't affect the stock. It's really moving here after hours. Wow. Look at this action at GameStop. If anyone in chat knows who Matt Furlong is, enlighten me. Because XX what app is that? This is Benzinga Pro, and we get trading view charts in Benzinga Pro. This is Benzinga Pro. You can get it for free 2-week trial, pro.benzinga.com. It's up on the screen right there. This is Benzinga Pro. This is Benzinga's real-time news and research platform. Look at this movement. Wow. What is Benzinga Pro? How about this? Oh man, we're supposed to have that pro demo with Mike Rao, but we booted a Mike for GameStop. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna put an email up on the screen. Let's see. Who can I? Let me find out what email to put on the screen. And then XX you can learn more. You can go to the website and learn more that way. And sign up. Again, it's free. At least the trial is free for 2 weeks, and you can go from there. But I want to give you an email if I can. Let me find out like what the best. I should probably know this by now, but I don't. So what's up, man?
What's up? What's up, dude?
I'm asking.
You can grab some emails. Grab some emails.
I'm asking like Mallard, like if I can give out his email publicly.
There you go. You should. he's all down. Give it out. Give it out. We're at the GameStop earnings. Let's get this going. Did a nice little image for us. Changed it up. We should be getting the viewers to jump up. So if you guys are just joining in, we're doing the GameStop earnings. So hit the like, hit the share. Let's get this going. Looks like we have over 500 people now.
You know,
let's do it. Let's do it. Getting it going here. As you can see, I gotta share this right here. Do you remember this stream?
Yeah, that was like exactly, not exactly, but it was 4 months ago.
Yeah, man.
3 months ago.
Hey,
Randy says GameStop's out. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Put it up.
EPS 45-cent loss versus wow.
Let's go. Whoa, let's do it. Let's do it.
83-cent loss estimate. Sales of 1.28 versus 1.16 billion dollars. They're still suspending guidance. Why? I thought COVID was over. Come on, guys. Guidance for real. All right, no guidance. No guidance for GameStop. Earnings came in well above the estimate. Again, what that number says right there is that the street expected GameStop to lose 83 cents per share. They only lost 45 cents per share. And again,
282.
Okay, maybe we're on our way. Their sales, their overall top line revenue, how much money came in the door last quarter? 1.28 billion versus 1.16 billion. So a higher on that. So the headline numbers were okay, right? The fact that they're suspending their guidance is not ideal. It doesn't give us as much. Well, what did you say? 282, Mitch? Is that what you said?
It clocked there for a second.
Forget that.
That thing's already at 280s now.
I see 279. Jesus, Murphy.
The big thing is the spread on this one. The spread is about 2 points. So 4 points. So it's a crazy one to trade.
Wait, Dylan says volume is tiny. Well, probably.
Yeah, it's after hours right now.
Yeah, I know, but it's not tiny for after hours.
I mean, let's see. On the minute candle, these 2-minute candles have 39,000.
That's a lot for
36,000. That's not the worst.
No, that's pretty good. I'm saying that's good volume.
Yeah, that's not the worst for the volume. I mean, look at the relative to 1-minute candles prior in intraday market. 93, 63.
Yeah,
52. That's not that bad. 36, 40.
So a few minutes ago, we were at what were we at? Like GameStop was at
like 308.
Yeah. Well, like even like before the close, like it had that pop into the close almost, and it got to like 317 or something, and Now we're at 287. So anyway, just to recap, the headline numbers seem okay, right? Their EPS, they lost less money than we thought they would. And overall, their sales, more money came in the door than we thought would come in the door. So the headline numbers are okay. Lack of guidance is not ideal. Here we go. Now we're talking. They intend. Let me zoom in on this. So
there you go.
they intend to file a prospectus, supplement to their base prospectus in the S3, under which they may offer and sell up to 5 million shares in an at-the-market offering, raising money when they can, raising money at these still elevated prices. It means short-term dilution for shareholders, long-term, maybe they can use the money to pay down debt or invest in R&D or invest in their e-commerce operations or yada, 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 whatever. They're going to use it, how they're going to use it. A lot of times, these offerings, short-term bad news, long-term good news, depending on how they use the money that they raise. In any case, it is short-term dilution here. And at the market just means they're just gonna sell shares whenever they sell shares. There's no set price. We've bounced off the lows, which is
this is the hourly charts. The hourly chart's not looking like the worst because you had that spike early, kind of on the 8th, right? And so it's looking like it's holding that low and trying to recover that low. So
here, I'm gonna hop in. What we didn't do yet, hop into the actual release.
Boom, boom, boom. Hop in. Go ahead and hop in. So everybody out there that's watching, we got over 690 people watching. You guys can see down below. If you guys want to get access to this quick information, definitely check out Benzinga Pro. You got YouTube 20 there. But hit the like, hit the subscribe. You guys already know where we're at. This is where Spencer gets it down, man. Spencer's gotten it down with GME before. It's not his first time. It's not his first time. As I said, not the first.
All right, here's that email. You ready? I'm going to put that email up.
Let's do it. What you got for us?
If you have questions, now this is what I was going to suggest, but I wasn't sure it was the right one. If you have questions about Benzinga Pro, like whether you're a subscriber or not, and you want to know things, there's your email. onboarding@benzinga.com. You can say that Spencer sent you. You don't have to though. And ask for a demo. There are people here that will gladly jump over themselves to give you a demo, right? And just show you how it works. So onboarding@benzinga.com. Ask away. There's your questions. Again, pro.benzinga.com. That's the platform that I have open right now. Anyway, back to the GameStop newsfeed. Here's the press release. Let's zoom in a little bit more. All right. Highlights, of course, they're going to be good off the top, right? Why would you put the bad news at the top of the release? You wouldn't. Net sales of 25% to $1.3 billion. That's good news. What else do we have? Wow. 12% reduction in the company's global store footprint. Huh. I guess that makes sense, right? They're closing stores. A, because brick and mortar is not a thing, and B, we're in a pandemic. Gross margin was better. Expenses declined. Wow. Look at that. Okay.
We're starting to cover. We're holding the line. We're holding the line here.
If you're in the chat, you're saying this is incredibly bullish or bearish. I'd be curious to see why you think that. I'm not quite sure what to make of this just yet. Again, the fact that the headline numbers were better than estimates is good news. Lack of guidance is bad news. So I'm sort of mixed on this right now. Operating law, you can't compare this year-over-year crap because last year was so messed up. So I almost want to throw it all out the window. You know what I mean? Oh. Okay, they got some cash on hand, and that's good. They're not going to run out of money like Lordstown will. There we go.
Starting to bounce here. We're starting to bounce. Looking strong. Let me just give a little preview right here.
Okay, wait.
Nice little bounce off that low. Keep it going though, Spencer. What else we got?
So here's I want to highlight this. This is the money paragraph, I think. So we're continuing to suspend guidance at this time. However, we believe total net sales is the most appropriate metric to evaluate performance at this time. The company's second quarter sales trend continued to reflect momentum with May. What the hell just happened there? Hold on. With May total sales increasing 27% year over year. Again, year over year doesn't do a lot for me because year over year comparing this May to last May is like apples and pandemic.
Looking good, Spencer. We're recovering on that hourly. We held that low.
Yeah, this is a very strong bounce back. This bounce back is I mean,
this is why I like using bigger charts on a stock that's that volatile, you know.
With the caveat that it is still so early. It is so early. Where this report's been out for 10 minutes. So sometimes it takes days or weeks for a trend to like make itself obvious. But
or even worse, when the algos get it wrong and they take it down for a little bit, and then they fully read through the document, and then they're like, oh snap, this is actually positive.
Right.
That happens all the time. I see it.
All right. Let me crap. You know what I didn't do? So the conference call, guys, is not till 5:00, just so you know. That's when the call is scheduled. And last time they
this is what I was wondering. I had this question too. I didn't see anything in that, Spencer. Anything about this? Lately asking here, no NFTs? What's up?
Oh, that's a great point.
Do the find. See if you can find it in there.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me
a little find trick.
Wait, before I do that though, let me just register for the earnings call. Okay.
We're gonna get hit with a copyright.
Wait, is that me or you?
That's me? You, and we're gonna get hit for a copyright.
No, we're not. Relax.
Everybody hit the like for the copyright.
Fine, I muted it. Okay,
hit the like for the copyright.
All right. Last time, what happened was if you didn't get in early, you got locked out. So we're in now.
We're in.
Okay,
we're in. You guys heard it first.
Okay, control. So nice music. All right, control F for NFT. Control F, non-fungible. No. Well, there's nothing in the PR about it.
Nothing in the PR. Come on, you guys. Where's the GME NFTs, man?
Here's the filing. The actual.
You know what they should do?
No.
I heard someone talk about this, and I thought it was pretty interesting for GameStop to do. They should start making like limited edition weapons. NFT. I'm the only one that can have this weapon in Call of Duty. That's what I want. Things like that.
I mean, that would create a massively unfair advantage, I think, for some
people. No, I mean, you just create a whole bunch of the weapons can be kind of comparable and kind of advantages and stuff like that, but it's more along, people want customization, right? They already love to get customization to, like, let's say, a gaming, different body types, different things like that, right? So I think people are more than willing to pay for if you could get even further things that would be limited edition. Like, let's say there's only 500 of this gun out there.
I gotcha.
Or something like that. So,
all right.
It'd be interesting.
There are some more questions in the chat. User says that Benzinga is a shill org. Why are we a shill org, man? Just tell us. Don't just tell us we are without telling us why we are.
I mean, the guy's name. Look at the guy's name. His name is User.
I don't know why I'm still. And then XF, wait a minute. Here's the question that he asked, he or she. You all don't hold stocks long term? No, we absolutely all hold stocks long term. In fact, I don't even trade. I don't even trade that often. I do.
Dude, what's long term trading?
I occasionally do day trades or swing trades, but most of my money in the market is in long-term things that I don't intend to sell anytime soon.
Yeah, Spencer's not as a degenerate as I am, guys. Don't worry.
I'm not a degenerate. Exactly. Right. We definitely, but understand that there's a big difference between long-term investing and short-term trading.
Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I dip my toes in it. I like to have some fun too. So I mean, but like always, diversify. I got my long-term and my short-term stuff. So I have fun.
All right, we've been so caught up on GameStop. We've been missing some other things here.
See what's going on out there.
all
I'll
right,
take a quick look at GameStop. We're going back to the lows. Let's see if we can hold that hourly low.
All right. All right, this is interesting. So AMC looks like it has a press release out. They said that as of June 2nd, they had 4.1 million shareholders eligible to vote at their meeting. That's a lot of shareholders. This is just some shares that this isn't news. This isn't news. This is just some like timeline stuff. This isn't actually news on AMC. No. RH had earnings, the place with the expensive furniture, huge beat on their EPS and on their sales, and they're raising their guidance. Jeez Louise, look at the RH chart, guys. Holy cow. From 615 to 650 in a couple minutes. Wow.
it. Dino knows where the flagship is. He knows the flag. PreMarket Prep every morning, 8 a.m. You already know.
XX Plick is asking to follow us on Instagram. I am not on Instagram. You can follow Benzinga there, XX Plick, but you can't follow me. You can follow me on Twitter, but not on Instagram. Here, I'll put my Twitter up on the. I'll change my name to reflect.
All right, let's take a nice poll here. So everybody in the chat, let's go with a nice bullish on the earnings. Press 1. Bearish on the earnings. Press 2.
For GameStop, you mean?
Yeah, GameStop.
I mean, I'm more interested in the reaction, and so far the reaction ain't bad. I mean, it's clearly extremely volatile, right? Market can't decide at the moment. You can tell by just looking at the 1 minute chart, which we're doing right now. But
I love the threes. There's always going to be someone throwing the threes.
I guess the fact that we have a new CEO is like one less question answered, right? Generally speaking, like the street hates uncertainty, so that's one less thing that's uncertain. We have a CEO. Let's hear what they say on this call. Again, the call is not until 5, so
I'm seeing some ones rolling through there. Looks like majority ones, but there's some twos mixed in there.
And if you guys don't care about GameStop, I understand that entirely. But this is
Stick around though. I mean, we got other shows coming up too. I mean, it's not like we only got this. We're gonna have some fun. We'll get into a little bit more relaxed time after the GameStop earnings. We'll get into Penny Lane meets Wall Street. That's a fun show. If you guys need some laughter, want to enjoy yourself, definitely check that one out. I even laugh myself. I mean, I'm recording it and then I rewatch and I still laugh. So you guys already know that. You guys can make fun of me later on that. But definitely after that, you guys got Money Mitch. I'll come on. I'll be talking some short interest stocks. I did see some ones that are under radar that most people are not keeping their eyes on. One that I saw today going into the close moved 14 points. So definitely stick around, guys. Money Mitch later today, 6 p.m. Eastern. Boom. Getting better at that whole promo life, you know?
Yeah. So and part of the GameStop 10Q, there is a note in there about the SEC asking for information related to trading activity in the company, and GameStop is complying, cooperating with the SEC's inquiry. That's not a big deal yet. I think the SEC makes inquiries all the time, and of course they're going to be interested in this. So that tells me nothing. That does nothing for me. That the fact that the SEC said ask GameStop for information, that does not make me concerned, because of course they are. So
all right, well, at least from my eyes, it looks like GameStop's at least holding for right now. We've tried that multiple times to break down through kind of that 285 look, but we keep rejecting it. So I mean, that's a good look right now, because I mean, we saw a lot of times earnings were hitting hard stocks and they were hitting them down, even good earnings. So if it can just hold here, I think it's going to be looking good going into the evening hours.
All right, who just mentioned CLNE? Carl. So this not only was this getting some Reddit love, I think it was Reddit love, but then it gets don't underestimate the impact of CNBC, right? You can hate on them all you want, but when a stock gets talked about on CNBC, it is liable to move, especially in the morning like around the open and around the close or on Jim Cramer's show, Mad Money, right? So John Nigerian said he bought CLNE today during his show. And the stock is up. It's still up after hours here. It's up over almost $14.50. Up 41% today. I mean, this thing is a move. It got to 16 in the pre-market session, so we're off that high, but still, huge move. I have no idea what this company does.
It just has a high short interest, man.
Right.
That's all that matters, dude. When they go shopping, and then you saw a lot of them shopped around. The big interesting thing was this morning is a lot of them pulled back, and then certain ones are pushing back up there today. So will we continue the trend tomorrow? Will we get another up rip? That's the interesting thing. No, I took a shot on one. I'm going to talk about it later today, but
I'm not going through that. All these filings. Let's catch up in chat.
What's going on, chat?
Yeah, I mean, Len and Dove. I mean, yeah, that's sort of kind of how I see it too, right? They raised money, they paid off their debt, some debt. They have a new CEO, finally. Again, one less unknown. Also, don't forget about GameStop. They're probably going to be at E3 this weekend. They're probably going to be.
Ooh, good thinking. Good thinking.
Mention. I would assume it's a 5-day conference. I would assume they would get some kind of a mention.
Some kind of mention, exactly. Maybe exclusive title. Who knows?
I don't know.
Boom, boom, boom. That's what they need. They need some kind of, some advantages. I think they're going to start really focusing on that, and figuring out ways to make even money digitally. I think that's their move. But they can revamp their business if they really consider about changing it up.
I think I'm going to get Mike Rao to hop on with us for a few minutes.
Let's do it. If he wants to come on, yo, Mike, if you're out there listening, come on, baby.
Yeah, Marky. I saw someone else in chat mention that Matt Furlong was
check GME again.
Was at Amazon.
It's just hanging out.
Do that. What else? What else do we miss here? Let's go back to Let's go back to our news feed. Let's go back to 4:00. Let's see what we missed.
I want to check the AMC chart. Is that doing anything because of this?
No, I didn't see anything.
Dun dun dun.
Wow. Wait, I want to pull this Angie, and then Mike Rao. I'll see you there, Mike. I'll bring you on,
Mikey.
Oh, look at this Angie. Look at this Angie chart. So here's a headline that IAC, which owns a stake in Angie. IAC reported total May sales up 7% year over year. They're up 7% year over year at Angie, up 67% year over year at Dotdash. ANGI just, I guess you can call it a gap. It's up $0.50. Call it a nice gap in the after-hour session. Not one that gets talked about too much, I think. Doesn't get a lot of love. But good year. Again, year over year, it's hard to compare because it was such a bad year for physical goods, brick and mortar. It's such a good year for e-commerce. It's hard to. But I guess the fact that they're up year over year, and this is Angie's no, Angie's not e-commerce. Angie's like, I don't know. That's not a good way to.
I mean, I think you consider it both, but it's technology advanced, so that's why.
Yeah,
it's actually considered more of a technology stock.
Mike Rao, give me the thumbs up if you're good. Give me a thumbs up. Are you good? Mike Rao, what up,
Yo,
man?
What up?
Mitch, so good to see you, brother. You feeling better?
Oh, yes. You can instantly tell. I mean, I don't know if you got to see SPAC's attack yesterday, but hey, energy down, energy back up. Let's go, rock it up.
This guy awesome. Spencer, how are you? Good afternoon.
His energy is going to the moon. I'm better now that you're here. Mike, I mentioned a few minutes ago. Mike, I mentioned that you would trip over yourself to give someone a demo of Benzinga Pro. Is that accurate?
100%.
Yeah.
I would trip 100 times to do it. Show
Yeah.
one person, one demo.
I
Right.
think we might have to do that, but
Well, yeah. Not right now. I think maybe what we'll do right now, Mike, is since we have about
Half hour,
a half hour,
28 minutes.
and then we're gonna go to Penny Lane, which is a great show that Mitch recorded with two hilarious people at 5. But let's
Aliens. Excited about that.
let's do this in the next half hour, Mike. Let's just and we'll hang out here, but let's just like walk through. Pick like I know you could talk for an hour about like any one thing. Let's just pick a couple of things in Benzinga Pro. Maybe if we can use GameStop, the context of GameStop.
Yes, we could do that.
to help, but let's like pick one thing in this half hour since we kind of bumped you and we're sorry.
We're okay with that. It was a big day. It's a major day.
So pick one or two things and let's do a deep dive into that. So if you want, I can bring up your screen. I see it there. We can do my screen. What should we start with here?
Well, let's have a quick chit chat first about
Chit chat.
Yeah, one of my favorite things. So, long story short, everyone, I used to be a financial advisor, and I hated it because the people that need financial advisors the most use them the least, and people that need a financial advisor the least use them the most. And I was like, well, I think secretly, if everybody figured out what to do and how to interpret the numbers on the screen, they could do this on their own. And I don't have to put up with these rich dudes all the time. They're a bunch of jerks. Thank the good man, and wherever he is, that I got invited to join Benzinga, and I haven't been any happier since. So I think Pro is a necessary tool for everybody because I wish I had it as an advisor. I think my clients would have been happier. I think we would have all made more money. I think it would have been easier. But in the long run, I think they all would have left because I think they could have realized they could do it on their own. So I think Benzinga Pro is an absolute necessity for any investor, any trader, or anyone that wants to get started in the stock market, because there's a lot of information, but it takes one step at a time. You have to start somewhere. So that's it. I love this program. I use it every single day. I've been managing my finances off of it for years. I've made a lot of money. I've lost a little bit of money, but it's because I've slipped up on my own mistakes. So I just wanted to get that little spiel kind of out of the way. Lastly, the best thing that it does for everyone is control our greed and our fear. Those are two things you have to do as an investor, but most importantly, as a trader. Control your fear when you see that red, when you see stocks just taking a tumble like GME today, right after the close. Don't panic. How do I get over this? How do I get through this? Same thing with greed. Just because everyone's jumping to it, should I? How do you do that? How do you control those two emotions? Information. Knowledge is key. So I think that's a very, very, very important thing. Now, I hope everybody can see the screen. Spencer, can you give me oh, wonderful. Look at this. Great. So let me dive in. We only have about 20 minutes or so. We're going to cover a couple things. What's up?
Can you just close out the chat like on Pro?
Yes, I can.
Taking
okay.
And maybe just zoom in once or twice.
Sure. And actually, I'm glad you brought up the chat because that is actually the first place we're starting.
Oh, excuse me.
How funny is that? And here's why, folks.
Hilarious.
The first thing, Spencer, I'm glad you said that. The first thing, this is what you see when you first sign into Benzinga Pro. This screen right here. You sign in, boom. I'm going to restart when you can see it. The first thing everybody does is close the chat. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Guys and girls, we have 80,000 traders on Benzinga Pro. 80,000 of them. And a very strong section of the ecosystem in Pro uses the chat. Jump in there. You may not be able to type or ask as many questions as a trial member. You certainly can jump and join the full conversation as a subscriber. But you can, where else can you interact with other traders all day long doing two things? Constantly debating between stock ideas every day. Ideas are generated in Pro. It's pretty cool. The second thing is, as macro news comes out, these individuals in Pro are analyzing the news in real time. And does anybody here love Brent? I do. Brentster is like the man. But
A lot of them might not know who Brent is.
well, he's like the man around town. He's got the coolest hair I've ever seen, and he's got a great record collection. But he works for Benzinga Pro, and he heads up the editorial team. He's in here all the time. So there's a lot of Benzinga employees running around too. We're having a lot of fun. So just don't be afraid of the chat. The chat's very powerful. We love the chat. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot in here. You're constantly getting ideas generation. It's super easy. You just roll over a ticker. Boom. You get the name of the company, current price. You're going to have a chat or a chart. It happens all the time. There's going to be stocks you've never heard of. We got a lot of GME coverage right now. I wonder why, but it's easy stuff. It's easy stuff. The one I'm seeing the most, they were just bombing Clove. Clove has been in the chat for a long time. I was not surprised to see it going nuts yesterday. Okay, so I just want to get out of the chat out of the way. We don't be afraid to be in there. Everyone's going to close it, but no big deal. Don't do that. Okay, let's start with the basics, folks. We only have a little bit of time, so let's just start small. Let's get big. That's the way to do it, okay? So now we have Benzinga Pro right in front of us, okay? I have my tools up here. They're easy to do. I have my basics. I'll show this one very quickly. This is my Let's Sell tab. I have a watch list right here. I'm just going to flip. I know I'm going fast. So I just want to kind of cram a little bit in here. I have a watch list here. It's named my last name. I don't know why, but here's a watch list, and I'm filtering a news feed specifically by that watch list. And in fact, all of these stocks on this watch list, I am desperate to sell because I got greedy. So I have filtered a watch list, a news feed just by this watch list. So I'm getting constant up-to-date news just on that. And that's exactly something you could do from GME. And I'll show you a real quick example how easy that is to do. And then we're going to jump into the next thing, but I'm going to create a new watch list. So I'm going to hit the plus sign up here in the upper right-hand corner. I'm in the watch list tab, which is always available on the left. Let's type in the name of the watch list we want. We're going to create it. Boom. Type in a ticker. It's added instantly. All right. I'm going to go to a news feed. I'm going to go to limit by watch list. Boom. There it is. Folks, look at that. Sweet. Now I'm filtering. Oh, I was almost there. Now I'm filtering. Look at this. All of the news going all the time just on GME. What do these little numbers mean? That means that this article includes more than one ticker. We have more than one ticker included. But if you want up-to-date information, I can set alerts, desktop notifications, whatever I need. I do. I have a little alert going off anytime that there is a news story about this watch list. I get an update. Okay. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Just wanted to show you how easy it is. So I have some tabs up the top. I've organized it. Here's what you do first. You hit this little plus sign to start a tab. This is exactly what you'll see. It'll have our 10 tools across the top. You simply pick a tool, for example, our brand new advanced newsfeed, which is so cool. Click it, boom, the tool comes up. The very next thing you do, simply hit the pencil and name it. Start getting yourself organized, folks. This is how you overcome your greed and your fear, particularly your fear. You're organized. Advanced newsfeed, we're sweet. We're off to the races. You know, it's not taught in finance school, spelling. Horrible at it, getting better every day. Okay. So just wanted to start the basics. There you go. Let's move on. Let's keep trucking. So that's how you get started. You open a new tab. You click some tools, the ones that stick out to you the most, name it. You're off to the races. Keep your chat open. You can turn the squawk on. Boom. You're already hitting the ground running. Now, let's get advanced. Let's get a little juice going. Let's have a little bit more fun. I like it. Real deal. We are working on getting you to trade on the platform. It's not us, it's them, meaning the brokerages. We just got a little stuff to work out, but I love it. Okay. So let's go through. We have 15, 20 minutes left. We're going to go through the tools and maybe set up a news feed together. Sound good? I like it. Okay. We have 10 tools now. 10. It's amazing. Growing every day. That's an increase of 25% since I started. I like it. Finance guys, we like numbers. So the 10 tools are the advanced news feed, brand new. This thing is awesome. You can search for stories on stocks that are under a certain price, certain market cap, certain sector, whatever you want, and include a whole bunch of other filters. Let me just show you. We're going to go to the screener. I can search for under $10. with some low float. It's right here. I love it. 15 million. We're done. How cool is that? That's it. We'll come back to this. Just want to give you an example. Okay. How cool is it? This is so powerful. Changes the game. So that's the advanced newsfeed. Newsfeed's old school. Nothing wrong. It works just as fine. They're the same thing. Just a few more filters, tips, and tricks to the advanced newsfeed. But these two go together. It's our core differentiator. This is really what separates Benzinga Pro from all the other platforms. Next, details. This is your one-stop shop for all of your research. Everything is in the details tab. You need to know about a stock before you enter the trade or before you exit. Very important. Calendar, next. Anything involving a date is on the calendar. Anything with a date. Dividends, options, splits, IPOs. We just have a brand new FDA calendar. It's so cool. Let me click it. Boom, we got an FDA calendar. And of course, when we have more time, we'll go through this a little bit more. But oh my gosh. Name, the event, company, drug status, target date. We even have the press release. This is so cool. Oh, look, check this bad boy out. You guys want to talk about some guidance?
Wait. Hey, Mike, I hate to do this to you. Can I jump in for a second?
Of course.
So we're monitoring GameStop, the conference call to see when it starts. You can hear it.
5 o'clock. Yeah.
Didn't start yet. Second thing is, let's go back. I want to bring up my screen for a second here and just show you a little bit because we have a few more headlines now.
Oh, good. Please.
About GameStop here.
Use Pro to your advantage, man.
Yeah.
Show the people.
Biggest one is the company's sort of shrugging its shoulders about volatility. They're just saying, nothing to do with the fundamentals, Jesus, of the business. And the second thing I want to add here, this is from Chris Cacci, who's the man who chimed in to let me know that, and I had missed this, so thanks to Chris for pointing it out. In the GameStop release, which I brought up, and I'll bring it up again here. You just go to GameStop, and you go to there's the release. There was nothing in here about e-commerce sales.
Oh, wow.
Nothing in here
Wow.
about online revenue. I just did a control F for e-commerce, and you can see what it returned, and basically nothing, right? That's not ideal. That's not what you want to see, right? If the bull case for this company, or one of the bull cases, is because of, or if the bull case is probably because of e-commerce, then you're going to want to see some e-commerce growth. I definitely remember seeing that last quarter. It's not in the release. It's not in the highlights. So that gives me some pause. So again, keeping an eye out on the conference call, seeing when it starts. When it does, Mike, I might interrupt you.
No problem. No problem. You know what? I want to bring up something too, real quick.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Do you mind jumping back to my screen? I forgot to. Yeah. I want to show something. Okay. Real quick. So we were going through some tools. We're on the calendar, right? Anything involving a date. Well, guess what? Today's a big day for GME. I clicked on the wrong buttons. Conference calls. Boom. Folks, if you didn't know that we have all of the conference calls for all of the public companies that we can get, boom, right here.
The thing is, like, I knew that, but I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. Oh, Jesus, you're crushing me here. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right here. I know. I'm gonna get some ice cream after work. I'm so excited. I just can't help it. Okay. So, conference, anything involving the date is here, folks. I mean, it's at your fingertips. What am I missing here? Okay, we're gonna keep moving. We got to get through the tools at least. Okay, so the calendar, watch list, your personal portfolios. The way you organize this can really set off Pro in a huge favor. It really will help you out quite a bit. But you can have as many as you want. Nothing here. Movers and Scanner go well together. They're the exact same tool, but there's a little bit more features with Scanner, just like Advanced Newsfeed and Newsfeed. What these are, they're heat maps showing you exactly where the money is moving, running to and running from. One of the coolest things, again, that separates Pro, that it basically does not have any competitors. We start pulling in data at 4 a.m. for the pre-market, giving it to you fresh. So you are going to see exactly where the money is running early in the morning. As soon as you want to get to your seat and start bringing up some trades, the movers tool and the scanner tool are going to have that money with you. Jump in. Signals tool. Signals are data points telling you a story. These are your block trades, your halts, your resumes, price spikes, option activity, trying to tell you a story. Last but not least, the screener. You tell us what you're looking for in a stock, and we will deliver the goods. I love the screener. I have a great stock recommendation I'm going to save for my next show that I have found in the screener by setting up some certain criteria. Okay, that's it. Before we go in, jump into maybe setting up a news feed, I got to get through the recommended workspaces, and here's why. We will set you up for success. We have taken care of everything for you. This bad boy is a behemoth. We'll save that sooner. I love the analyst ratings tool. I use it every day. In fact, I have a special strategy for it. But the pre-market is just a perfect example. Everything, all you have to do is click the pre-market. As soon as you sit down in the morning, everything is dialed in for your success already. For example, categories, markets, boom, we got futures, pre-market outlook is all set for you. I hope everybody can see this. I'll try to zoom in as much as I can. We can't miss this too much, okay? Signals tool, here's a quick glance at it before we get to it big time. Price spikes, highs, lows, opening gaps for your gap and go strategy. Couldn't be any easier to use. And then the movers tools, of course, set up for your success already. Again, Jason really started putting the retail investor first 10 years ago, starting Benzinga. And Benzinga Pro is an absolute manifestation of that. Just the pre-market tool really represents that. Okay. Last but not least, I know I got a few minutes. I would be amiss if I did not show you the Benzinga Pro help site. This is worth the trial alone for the 2 weeks. Believe me, I'm in graduate school for marketing, and I think this could be its own product, but if this is all included for free in your trial and your membership, the Benzinga Pro help site. Great. We can see this. Look at these beautiful mugs. Look at this mug. I love this guy. Okay. So, if you want to jump straight to trading strategies, you go to the Benzinga Pro help site, blue button at the bottom, or it's the question mark in the upper right-hand corner. Brings up a separate tab, a separate window. All you got to do, click on past webinars. It's all here for you. Supercharge your swing trades. Simplify your trading strategy. Sandman, if anybody's been around here for a while, I'm sure you know the Sandman name. He's in the chat. He helps out a lot. He's an amazing guy. Very, very successful investor, trader. A lot of help. This is all free. This is included. If you wanted to learn how to get into options, it's all here. If you don't know how to read an options, options information, we've got that covered. I think if you are going to set up a trial tonight, which please do, this should be the first thing that you print out. There should be a little bit of homework. Look at this, all free, breaking down exactly how to understand an option. Even if you don't trade options, use this information for your trading, understand where the options market is placing its bets, where the options money is running to. And last but not least, man, everybody asks me all the time, Mike, what should I buy? When should I sell? Here's a big difference about that. If you are relying on someone to tell you what to buy, you are also relying on that someone to tell you when to sell. And I want you to think very clearly for a second. Are they going to call you first and say, hey, Mike, you better offload your Tesla shares? I don't own any. or your Ford shares, which I own a lot. Because some news is coming out. Or are they going to sell the shares and then give you a call? You have to be in the driver's seat, right? You let that sink in. If you're waiting on someone to tell you what to buy, you're relying on them telling you what to sell. You're always getting secondhand information. Technical analysis is how you overcome that. This is the video I recommend. Technical analysis with Shane. He's a certified financial analyst. He had to pass 4 exams. I only had to pass 2 to be an advisor. My 7 and my 66. This guy's a lot smarter than I am. Okay, we got it. So let's do this. I know we dived a little bit into the news feed. We only have a few minutes left, but I just want to go through setting up the news feed and filtering that by a specific ticker, for example, GME. Okay, so let's start fresh here. What's the first thing?
I just want to jump in for one
What's up?
And just to tell everyone that we will be streaming the GameStop call whenever that starts, just so everyone knows. Anyway,
Lucky go on forever. So
we're waiting for the call to start. And when it does, I'll jump in.
I like this. Everyone's making money. That's what the slides look like at business school, just like that. Just show up and then you get a bag of money.
You know
Okay.
how I do my business slides. You know I went to business school.
Good. That's the best, man. Oh, God bless. Okay. So, what's the first thing we do, right? We're going to open a new tab. That's always the first thing you do. That's the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. You open a new tab. We just did that. That's Workspace 7. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say newsfeed. I'm going to click that. Okay, I've started. I've opened a tab. I've added a tool. I'm going to name the tool. I got to keep myself organized. I'm overcoming my greed, overcoming my fear. We'll just name it newsfeed to get going. All right. Let's break this down. First thing you want to do then is you want to start to filter this down. This is a lot of information. Drinking out of a fire hose is too much. It's up to you to slow it down. I should probably take my own advice, right? All right, so let's go to sources. This is where we slow things down. You really only need 2 sources to get going. If you are going to search by a few tickers and make it real small, you can get 3. Of course, everybody knows when a company has good news about itself, it's going to release a press release. Earnings are it's a lot of examples of press releases. We have contracts with all of the major wire companies. As soon as the press release is available, it is in your hands. And you can see behind me, you probably can't. Let's see if you can see any of these times. This is a great example. Oh, whoa, who did this? This is a great example of a couple press releases. Look at this, 4:45 p.m. No delays, no seconds. This is the timestamp it hit our newsfeed. All right. Again, that's press release. Benzinga Wire, aggregate news source. You're getting information from all across the globe. Every major financial news website we're putting in one spot. You have links to whole stories. You have hyperlinks. You have the full story. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll include our editorial team that will take maybe an article that's just a little too big to really actionably use as an investor or trader and dial that down so that it can condense itself into a couple hundred words so you can use it much quicker. There may be a slight delay between a large article coming out and the editorial team bringing it down. Might be a minute, might be a minute, 30 seconds, but it's worth the wait to not have to read this whole article you don't need. You just want the good stuff. Okay. Now, there's a lot more here. All of these categories we'll get to next time. It's going to be pretty exciting. Everybody should have analyst ratings on. If you're at home, you're going to set this up. You got to have the analyst ratings. There's just no way around it. Okay. I'm telling you. But for this, we're going to go to the GME. So we're going to include Benzinga signals. I'm telling everybody getting going, I would recommend to hold off, including Benzinga signals just to start, unless you're filtering by a watch list, because you're going to get a lot of options activity and your news feed is going to expand. You're going to see a lot of information. To start, just for general news, Benzinga Wire, press releases are the best. But if you're, in our case, searching by GME right now, signals is just fine. All right. Categories, we got a lot of things. We'll come back to these. We don't need this for this example. Sectors, incredible. There's a lot of help here. Guys, another pro tip. The best traders are 6 months ahead. The best traders are 6 months ahead. So if this was, and it's a little different now in June, but if this was March or April 2020, I'm a trader. I'm sitting down my Benzinga Pro. I'm going, boom, sources. I'll probably have these 2, wire, press release, sectors. Guys, I'm going healthcare all day. All day. And I am plotting and planning, finding the companies, anything with that. Of course, we have FDA coverage. Let's back that up. That's in news. So now I'm sorting 2 gigantic sources of information, but I'm whittling it down to only include healthcare. And in there, I want to also include any article that has FDA coverage. Now I'm getting ahead. I'm finding you're not lucky. You're prepared for opportunity. So I'm hunting down companies. I'm finding stocks that I can get ahead of. Everybody wants to, how do I get in that first spike? You're not getting in the first spike. You got to be ready to jump in. By the time you see it, it's too late, right? We all know that. So this is how you get ahead. Boom. All of this information is at your fingertips. Of course, all you have to do is scroll over. Now, maybe I should have done this in the advanced news feed because I could have further whittled this down to say, okay, I only want companies in the healthcare sector with FDA approval somewhere. This is a great story right here. I mean, come on. Just could not. Thank you, Benzinga Pro. Thank you so much. This is great. That's a great example. That's a BZ Wire story. I mean, come on. Okay. Regardless, I only want to see under $20 and again, low float, something like that. Okay. So I digress, but I just wanted to show that for this, we're jumping back. Let me get rid of healthcare. Let me get rid of my FDA because we want broad categories. Go back to our GME watch list. Boom. Oh, and how good is this? So I can color coordinate everything. Everything. Oh, I forgot to turn signals on. So we got red. Let's make signals purple. There we go. I'm going to get signals, which again are data points trying to tell you a story. My Benzinga Wire, the whole globe's financial news in your fingertips and press releases, any sort of press release from GME, I'm going to get. I'm going to filter that to a specific company, GME. I can add as many as I want. That's my Let's Sell tab from earlier example. Done. Bada bing, bada boom. This is incredible. Look at all this information you have. Oh my gosh. Oh, here you go, man. This is a good one. This is like almost exactly how you manage that greed. Like maybe, at that 320, we're getting close. Maybe I'll pull the trigger and I don't know. I can't get down that far. But boom, easy stuff. Oh, look at this. This came out late last night. I love that. Thank you, Benzinga Wire. It's a Benzinga Wire story. That's awesome. I didn't even get to see that one. There we go. How good is that? Boom. All right. So that's a quick example. Spence, I'm like 2 minutes early. I did it pretty good, don't you think?
You did great, man. You did fantastic.
That's what I do.
Thanks for again. Mike Rao will be on with us. Actually, Mike Rao, you're going to be on in a couple of days, right?
Friday morning, 7 a.m., folks. I host a happy hour for Benzinga Pro members, trial members, full-blown subscriptions with a co-host, an actual dedicated trader, an OG trader. His name's Avon. He's absolutely hilarious. We host a show 7 a.m. Friday mornings when we are going to talk stocks. We're going to talk the biggest news over the night. We're going to talk why that's important. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Overall, the point of the show is how do I become a better trader and having fun together doing it. It's the best. So it's going to be streamed live. It's going to be in Benzinga Pro. It's going to be streamed live on YouTube. Spence, I'm going to see you there, right? You're sleeping over.
Yeah,
you're
sleeping over. And I just want to clarify in the chat, we are going to stream the conference call. It didn't start yet.
It hasn't started yet.
We are just chilling, hanging out. The call didn't start. When the call starts, we will stream it and watch it, listen together. What's up?
Do you remember how to get to if anybody wanted to, they could do it? Yes. I like your shirt, Mitch.
Dude,
all right.
To the moon. To the moon.
Calendar. All right. Anything involving a date, conference calls right here.
Boom.
Again, how do I get there?
Calendar.
Open a new tab. Go to calendar. Maybe this is what I want to name it. Conference calls. We had a great discussion of how important conference calls. You can learn so much about the company through the language and the tone of voices. Do not underestimate, not necessarily every word, but the way they bring up the news, the way they're hiding things. The conference call is very important to listen to. Conference calls, let's go. I'm in calendar. I'm going to change this to conference calls. I get all the ones today. Wow. And look at that. GME is, of course, number 2, but you can always search the symbol. There it is. Boom. Webcasts, everything you need. If you want to dial in, Benzinga Pro gives you the phone number to dial in to the conference call. You could be out anyway. You could be driving home from work. You don't have to stick around. I mean, it's right there. This couldn't be an easier. So I know we're waiting around for it, but this isn't too bad.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get back. Let's take a look at some charts here. Looks like GME starting to bottom a little bit. The biggest thing is, can we get back towards that 285? I think that's going to be very important. So now that we're seeing kind of a reaction back up, the 1 hour chart, 1 hour candle close, this new candle opened up and now starting to push up. Let's see if we get into the earnings and we see that kind of pattern continue.
It's game time. It's game time, guys.
Game time.
Conference right now. Let's do this.
You guys smash the like. If you guys are ready for the earnings, let's get it rolling.
As a reminder, this conference is being recorded.
You heard that, guys. It's being recorded.
Your host, Eric Cerny, Investor Relations. Thank you, Mr. Cerny. You may begin.
Thank you and welcome to GameStop's first quarter fiscal 2021 earnings conference call. This call will include forward-looking statements which are subject to various risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from expectations. Any such statements should be considered in conjunction with the cautionary statements and the safe harbor statement in the earnings release and risk factors discussed in reports filed with the SEC. GameStop assumes no obligation to update any of these forward-looking statements or information. A reconciliation and other information regarding non-GAAP financial measures discussed on the call can be found in the earnings release issued earlier today, as well as the investors section of our website. Joining me today is GameStop's Chief Executive Officer, George Sherman. On today's call, George will discuss our business and strategic initiatives, followed by a review of the financial results. Please note that we will not be doing a Q&A session at the end of this call.
Oh, come on. You're doing this to me again, Smalls.
George Sherman.
How could you do this to me, Smalls?
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our first quarter fiscal 2021 earnings call. GameStop is off to a strong start to the year from both a sales and operations perspective. First quarter sales grew 25% year over year, and we ended the period with $771 million in total cash on the balance sheet, an increase of more than $185 million compared to last year. Throughout the first quarter, we also took a number of steps that align with our previously stated priorities. These steps include adding retail and technology talent to our senior leadership team by appointing a Chief Operating Officer, Chief Growth Officer, and Chief Technology Officer. We also made a number of other senior hires across brand, merchandising, e-commerce, supply chain, and fulfillment. Each of these new additions have proven backgrounds and experience from companies such as Amazon, Google, and Chewy. Second, we further strengthened the company's balance sheet by raising more than $550 million in net proceeds from our April ATM program. We also eliminated our long-term debt with a voluntary early redemption of our 2023 senior notes. Third, we expanded our fulfillment network by adding a 700,000 square foot facility in York, Pennsylvania. This new distribution center, which is expected to be operational by the fourth quarter of this year, will enhance our order fulfillment capabilities on the East Coast. Lastly, we continue to expand our product offering by adding natural extensions such as PC gaming, computers, monitors, game tables, and gaming TVs, just to name a few. We intend to continue taking steps to evolve the business and build a world-class technology infrastructure while simultaneously capitalizing on the emerging console cycle. Today, we also announced a new ATM offering through a prospectus filing to offer up to 5 million shares of our common stock. The company intends to use any net proceeds for general corporate purposes, as well as for investing in growth initiatives and further strengthening the balance sheet. Before I review the financial results for the quarter, I'd like to comment on this afternoon's press release announcing the hiring of a CEO and a permanent CFO. Matt Furlong, our incoming CEO, has an impressive background from Amazon, where he most recently led Australia and oversaw significant growth in that region. Matt is a proven e-commerce leader with a firm understanding of how to delight customers. His focus, intensity, and work ethic will set the right tone atop the company as we begin shifting to a growth phase. He also brings a strong understanding of brand and retail from his tenure at Procter & Gamble, where he began his career. Mike Recupero, our incoming permanent CFO, also joins us from Amazon, where he was most recently CFO of North American Consumer and CFO of Prime Video. Mike spent nearly 2 decades at Amazon and held a variety of senior finance roles across the organization. His experience helping business lines scale and achieve market leadership is exactly what we need going forward. I look forward to working with Matt and Mike to ensure seamless transitions in the coming weeks. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Diana Jage for her guidance and willingness to take on additional responsibilities during her time as interim CFO. Diana will return to her role as Chief Accounting Officer within the finance organization once Mike officially joins. Now turning to our financial results. Net sales for the quarter increased 25.1% to $1.3 billion. compared to $1 billion in the prior year period. Importantly, we achieved this growth with a roughly 12% reduction in the global store fleet due to our strategic dedensification efforts and the continued store closures in Europe during the quarter due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Overall, gross margins were 25.9%, down 180 basis points from 27.7% in the fiscal first quarter last year. The decline was primarily driven by an expected increase in mix of lower margin sales. From an SG&A perspective, our reported SG&A expenses were $370.3 million, reflecting a decline of $16.2 million or 4.2% versus the reported SG&A in the first quarter last year, and an 880 basis point improvement on a percent to sales basis. Adjusting for severance, transformation, and other costs, our adjusted SG&A declined $29.5 million or 7.7% year over year and reflects nearly 10 percentage points of sales leverage. We reported an operating loss of $40.8 million compared to an operating loss of $108 million in the prior year first quarter. Adjusted operating loss was $21.6 million compared to a loss of $98.8 million in the prior year period. Income tax in the first quarter was an expense of $1.3 million, which compares to an income tax expense of $50.4 million in the prior year first quarter. Our effective income tax rate for the quarter was 2% and impacted by valuation allowances recorded in prior periods, as well as the mix of earnings across the jurisdictions in which we operate. We reported a net loss of $66.8 million or $1.01 per diluted share compared to a net loss of $165.7 million or a loss per diluted share of $2.57 in the prior year first quarter. Our adjusted net loss was $29.4 million or 45 cents per diluted
They
share.
need some lo-fi on
Compared to
this.
adjusted net loss of $157.6 million or a loss of $2.44 per diluted share in the fiscal 2020 first quarter. In the first quarter, we continued to focus on strategically de-densifying our global store fleet, closing a net total of 118 stores in the quarter. At quarter end, we operated 4,698 stores across the globe. Turning to the balance sheet, we ended the quarter with cash and restricted cash of $770.8 million, $186.9 million higher than the end of the first quarter last year. Overall debt levels compared to the first quarter of last year were reduced by $504 million and reflect the redemption of $202 million of senior notes due in 2021, the voluntary early redemption of $216.4 million of 10% senior notes due in 2023, and the $135 million paydown of the company's asset-based revolving credit facility. At the end of the quarter, we had no borrowings under our asset-based revolving credit facility, no long-term debt, and $48.1 million of short-term debt, which is a low-interest loan from the French government offered to us through the equivalent of the CARES Act in the U.S. related to the response to COVID-19. Capital expenditures for the quarter were $14.7 million. In the first quarter, cash flow from operating activities was an outflow of $18.8 million, an increase of $30.5 million compared to an outflow of $49.3 million during the same period last year. In terms of our outlook, we remain optimistic about both the emerging console cycle and our future. We recognize business risks remain elevated due to the pandemic and post-pandemic uncertainty, and we are not providing specific annual sales and earnings guidance. We are pleased with our start to the year and strong sales in May, which were up approximately 27% year over year. We remain focused on positioning GameStop for long-term growth as we prioritize delighting our customer and providing a differentiated and superior customer experience. Finally, given this is my last time speaking with you as GameStop CEO, I want to share that I'm very proud of what we have accomplished over the past 2 years, including navigating the pandemic and positioning the company with strong liquidity and an improved platform for growth. It's been a privilege to lead so many dedicated and talented team members who collectively possess tremendous passion for the gaming industry. We have helped bring stability and strength to the business, including by de-densifying our store footprint, reducing cost and debt, and returning our company to growth. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our customers for their belief in us, and an amazing group of shareholders who have so demonstrably exhibited their support for us. I look forward to working with our newly appointed board and leadership team going forward. Thank you again for your support and your interest in GameStop.
This concludes today's conference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your
Wow.
participation.
That would make it more underwhelming than the last one. The last one was pretty weak, but this one may even weaker.
Oh man, that was so weak. I can't even begin. Like I said, they need some lo-fi on that at least, man. I mean, that was cringe.
George Sherman just basically just mic dropped and was like, basically what he said but didn't say was like, "Yo, thanks for the stock move, everyone. Thanks for the squeeze. Mic drop. I'm out of here. Peace." That's what he just said.
That's exactly what he said. The real key is the stock going to recover? Because, I mean, it's just been hanging out here by the support. So that's going to be interesting. Definitely, we take a look here at the chart. This is a 1 minute, so, getting a little bit in depth. But that 270 was the low, really. And now we're looking like we're coming back down. I think, that call wasn't even long enough to give it a chance to get back up here. I mean, it was a short call too, right? I mean, in my eyes, that's a short call.
I don't know what George Sherman's exit package is. I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure he's got a lot of shares that he can't wait to sell and retire on a beach. And you know what? Good for him, man.
Hey, I mean, like he said, thank you guys.
Right. Thanks for the squeeze. I'm out of here. Yeah. Did I miss the part where they discussed e-commerce, or did that not even get mentioned?
Not even get mentioned. I just did that call was just like, we might as well just read the earnings report again and then just said I was the CEO.
That's essentially what it was.
They just read it, like just literally word for word. Like, let's not even go off of it one word.
But of course, the bull case here is that this call is meaningless. The whole last quarter is meaningless. This has nothing to do with the future of the company. The future of the company is Ryan Cohen. The future of the company is the new CEO, new CFO. The future of the company is e-commerce and changing their model. That's the bull case. The bear case is, what the hell did we just listen to? Exactly. I'm not entirely sure. It's 2 times in a row. No Q&A session on earnings call.
What I want to point out, at least on the monthly chart and keeping it in an overall bullish sense, I mean, look at this chart monthly. I mean, overall, that's still – if I didn't tell you this was GME, Spencer, and you just saw this monthly chart, what would you think? You'd be like, man.
I mean, there aren't many monthly charts that look like that, so I would have.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I would have said that's probably GameStop.
But I mean, when it first went up to that 43, came back down all the way kind of closer towards that 40. Now we're all the way back up to 302. I mean, that's pretty impressive, I think, really.
Oh my God. All right. Well, hopefully we can only hope that next time around, which is going to be when their next report is going to be in September, probably the first week or two of September. It'll be the first report with the new CEO. I would hope that we get to ask questions then. This company is so tight-lipped. They are the antithesis of AMC. They do not want to talk to anybody at all.
Yeah, is that a common move? I mean, I don't see that very common in the industry.
I mean, yeah, actually it is. AMC, I think, is the exception, where most companies are just going to, like, when stuff happens to their stock, they're like, all right, cool, thanks. But AMC has embraced it. GameStop has not. It's just, there's no right or wrong way, just a different strategy. But, God, what a snooze fest that was, guys. I'm sorry if you hung out for that. I really thought, well, things have calmed down a little bit since last time, a little bit. What time can we go to the moon? It's a great question. I don't know. I guess the biggest thing here is let's just see how Reddit reacts. Let's see how the major GameStop influencers react. Obviously, they're all going to want to be bullish and stay bullish because it's in their best interest to hold. The biggest thing with me, though, is like, if I had GameStop, and like, put it this way. So if you had a GameStop and you didn't sell this entire time, that has mostly worked, right? Unless you bought it like 400, you're still underwater. But for most people who didn't sell, they're probably up big. This might get me killed, but like, why not take a little bit off the table? Take a little bit of chips, just a couple chips. If you're in this thing, take a couple off the table. Book some profits. If you're up big on paper. You're not up big in reality. Why not just take a couple chips? That's what I would do if it were me. But you don't owe me anything. Do whatever you want. It's your money. If it were me, I was up, if I was in GameStop from 50, 100, whatever, 150 to, I would be taking chips off the table for sure. Or you can just hodl and ride it out, and that's probably what a lot of people are going to be doing. I don't know. I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit and then letting the rest ride.
Why take them off the table when it's not anywhere near Berkshire? Wait, which Berkshire? Class A or Class B? Because if it's Class A, you got a long way to go, my friend.
Yeah, we're getting up there, bro. Like AMC, bro. You know it.
Yeah, Marvin's asking.
Take a look.
Marvin's
AMC.
asking if I was in GameStop. I did trade this thing, and of course, I lost money on it, like an asshole, like an idiot. So, I
didn't you like mistime it just by like a week?
I traded GameStop one time and I lost money. So or just don't listen to me because what do I know? I
mean, you were close on the timing. I think you just got out like
no, I bought it. Right? I bought it for the hearing, and then that didn't go as planned.
Hey, that's how it is. It hasn't been easy to trade these for sure.
Diego, yeah, man. I don't know what I was expecting, but
Where's Cohen? That's what we're all trying to hear from.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. It's 5:18. We got Penny Lane coming up right now. This great podcast turned video that Mitch recorded. Trading while I'm at work. Yeah, I don't make a habit of that. I did it the one time just for the GameStop hearing, and I lost money, so I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned, guys. Penny Lane meets Wall Street. It's kind of like an entertaining show talking about the stories of the week. Also, you're going to hear also about some alien talk. I mean, if you guys want to hear about some alien stocks that you might be looking out for, definitely stay tuned, guys. Coming up right next.
Blue 597 is saying I gave terrible advice. That's fine. You're free to disagree with everything and anything that I say. You know, I'm just a guy who watches the market every day, but I don't have any skin in the game in this. So maybe that makes what I have to say more interesting because I have no skin in the game and I really have no bias one way or the other. If GameStop goes to 1,000, great. If it goes to 10, cool. I really don't have an opinion on the stock. But anyway. Okay, 5:19. We're going to play Penny Lane up right now. Mitch, take us away.
Let's do it. Let's get this over to Penny Lane. We'll see you guys there. Hang tight. We're starting it up.